Ever thought of how much filth and dirt gets to the river as it snakes downstream and finally to the oceans and seas around the world?
Most of the world's waste ends up somehow in the sea, either underground or in the sea, or it's being burnt and going into the air. A lot of us who live on land, you forget the link to our seas, but our oceans are 70% of this world, and they are becoming our world's dump yard through our rivers, through, just on the beaches and things like that.
Kenyan coast is one among the coastlines that receives numerous waste products annually as determined by seasonal winds.
The flip-flops that we have on our beaches come with the currents that we have. And where we were up there, we have the Somali current and the East African equatorial current. And the Somali current brings all the waste from Malaysia and India and Indonesia and all those places. It comes straight onto our beaches. That's in particular one season. Then we also have the East African coastal current that comes north. It goes both ways, north. And that also brings waste from like southern Kenya or from Tanzania or from Mozambique.
Among the ravage are flip-flops, locally known as slippers or sandals.
And the flip-flop is an interesting thing. The rubber flip-flop only came around in the 30s, hit the market in the 60s and 70s, and look how much waste since the 70s there is on the beaches. And that's not long. So what is it going to be like in 50 years' time if we don't start doing something now? And we have the opportunity.
It was during her marine conservation with Kenya Wildlife Service that an idea of recycling was born.
And so we took this idea and developed it and started making marine animals rather than boats and aeroplanes, and made marine animals to get the community into marine animals. But up there was no glue, there was no sanding machine, so everything was just made with sticks and thorns stuck together. And then after about a year and a half, we got WWF to make an order for like 15,000 key rings, like a small turtle. And when we started with a small turtle, we had to use glue. And then when we punched a hole to make a key ring, we ended up with a small bead like this. So that's really where it initially started, and I was working in marine conservation and development.
After her service with the Kenya Wildlife Service, recycling of sandals became a business back in the year 2005.
We, for the last few years, have been trading off at the same sort of level. I haven't really ever made a profit, but we've been just sustainable, if you see what I mean. We've recently got investment, and we're now really developing a plan. Until the other day, it was basically me and a few others helping behind the scenes and the producers. And it got as big as it could with a one-man show running it. So now, with investment, we're getting in a management team. So we're able to market more. We're able to have better sales collateral. We're able to reorganize the workshops and have everything better. So, and we're able to redo our retail place here at Marula Studios and actually go out to different people to sell. So, and that's our plan. So, the business is getting better, and every day I'm learning.
With the processing plant in Karen, reuse of slippers has become a source of living for hundreds of Kenyans. They buy 1 kilogram at an average of 25 to 30 shillings, depending on the quality.
Each supplier that we have, they're about 3 to 5, also work with people they pay people to collect. So in a way, we've I don't know how many we've got there, 20 maybe. But then I still work with the KYU women, where this project started with. And it's not just the KYU women, it's women from another village called Mokokoni and all the villages up there. And they can go between 50 to 100. And then we also work with a women's group in Wasini, in Shimoni area. And they're about 20 there. So, I don't know, can impact up between 150, 180.
Currently, as you can see, we have flip-flops that came in from Kibera. Others we get from Ngong Hills. Once they've been, like now it's raining, so we get lots of flip-flops that have been washed off. So basically when we get them, first thing we do, this is our storage area. We put them in the bin. Then we start washing them with the ladies doing the washing. So we just use normal soap powder soap to clean them up. Then after, like the ladies are doing, we just rinse them. We use two bins of rinsing. Then we use a disinfectant to remove the smell. Because basically, like the ones from Kibera, they get them from sewage and all that, so they collect them from there. So basically, you have to disinfect them because when they come in, they're really, really smelly and dirty. We get these are particular type of flip flop. We get it from coast. As you can see, it's been washed off from the ocean. When we get them, we do not, this a particular one, it's quite hard. So it's hard to work with, especially if we are doing our products. So what we normally do when it comes in, we use it for, we have clocks and mirrors that we just pin them on the clocks round and on the mirrors.
From cleaning to drying, then sorting, the artisans who are separated in different sections get down to work.
After we take the flip flops, we join them into blocks. If I'm making a small giraffe like this one here, I take 3 flip flops and join them together using condom.
Depending on the size.
Yeah, depending on the size. Then I carve each part, the body part, the neck part, and the end, and also the legs, like this one here.
Well, key to us is quality, absolutely. Production of, using rubber is a challenge because we are often building our products up. So you get pieces of a flip-flop, and to make a sculpture or anything, you have to not just cut it down, build it into a block to make it into something. So unlike you just buy a piece of leather and you cut it and you make a bag, or you cut it and you make a belt, here we would have to build it up to make the item.
Then we have the group inside in the workshop that do geoships. So I'll take you inside and show you the geoships, guys. Yeah? The group inside are more talented on stuff that needs a lot of artwork, needs a lot of designing, measuring and all that. So basically they specialize on small type of products that needs a lot of concentration and a lot of artwork.
Jonathan Leonardo comes from the Maasai community where craft is neither a way of life nor a source of livelihood. But for the last 4 years, he has learned and nurtured the carving skills, and out of this, he has now become the breadwinner of his extended family.
Sasa hii yangu inatokana na bidii yangu kutaka kujua zaidi kuhusu hiyo kazi inaendelea. Nilipata kazi nikiwa kijana, lakini sasa hivi kuna familia nikiwa kwa.
All work is done by hand except for the smoothening of the products.
Your product is now carved. Yeah. See, they're using the knife. We need to smoothen. What do we use the sanding mortars that just moves around, and you just, as you can see, they just put sandpaper on the edges and they just smoothen. We are using the sandpaper. It's just making it to have a smoother appearance.
The jewelry department employs majorly women who make different products.
So we're building on the traditional arts and crafts. We're using the waste. We're basically adding value to even a poor man's shoe, because the flip-flop is a poor man's shoe. And we're cleaning it up from all the waterways and all the beaches. We're not cutting down trees. We're not killing elephants when it was ivory or anything like that. We're not, the soapstone is reusing soapstone, but we're really using the waste.
After production, the products finally find their way to the shelves for sale.
Most of the clients that we normally have come up with the ideas, and we make for them everything that they have asked for.
It's at least 60% local, I think, between 50 and 60% local, and then 40 and 50% international. But our local market is very important to us, both our tourist market because of what we do, but also our residents and Kenyans. It's I think it's a new product, and people have to sort of feel cool to wear waist around their neck, like me. And sometimes you might be breaking a cultural sort of norm. But our residents and our tourist market is really important. Our international market is also really important. We've sold to the States, Australia, Europe, Sweden, UK, Switzerland. It's the challenge with export is getting the items from here to there.
Flip-Flop Recycling Company is now on the mission for expansion with a target of the local market emanating from the demand and readily available raw materials.
Last year we used up to 100,000 kilos of flip-flops we recycled. We want to quadruple that to like 400,000 kilos. And what impact are we having? I don't know. In an ideal world we should have no waste. In today's world, waste is only on the increase. What we are doing is adding value to that waste, generating people's interest to think, gosh, waste is not just waste. It's also can provide jobs, it can provide interesting and beautiful things, and we're cleaning up the environment.
They appreciate our prices because we normally take them round for a tour. Then after they have seen what we are doing outside there, they don't complain. Our prices are fair enough for the clients to purchase.
To the amazement of many, worn-out slippers can now produce a wide range of products cutting across all ages.
So basically, I used to see art products from wood and soapstone, but I never imagined that you could use flip-flops to come up with something. Yeah, it's quite interesting, it's fun, it's lots of fun working with the flip-flops. Flip-flops are beautiful, they're colored, so really the products come out flashy and all that. So basically when you're working with them, they're just colorful, so you just feel good.
This is really funky, it's clean, it's well made, and we want to reach a place where people just like our products. Almost like they don't buy it because of the story, though the story is very powerful. They buy it because they like the product. They like the colors, they like the product, it's good quality. That's a place I want to get to.
The flip-flops are now being used for setting up safe playing ground for children as well as outdoor decorations. Henry Minor, GBS.